Hello. I'm 1 minute early. Dan, I thought that was a fabulous idea. There's coming up. Oh, well, gonna have to deal with that. So I'm happy to see all of you, especially with the year ending. Never want to leave without saying goodbye to your loved ones. Not that I'm saying goodbye, but the year is saying goodbye, right? And I want to welcome Adrian, Scrinch, Dan, and Nancy. Happy New Year. God bless you all. Adrian, I'm using y'all's camera tonight that y'all sent me. Better screen, y'all, right? Better. Hello, Debbie. God bless you all. God bless. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. And also, I want to stop and thank everyone for the support that y'all give me and send in. It's really been a blessing on our house. So, also, don't forget there are links in the description box. There'll be a couple of extra ones today to some older videos that I did in the past that have suddenly become relevant today, in these days, and in the coming days. So we'll go over that in a few minutes. All right, all right, all right. So it's been cold and windy here, but that's not exactly the same case for a volcano that's been dormant in Mississippi for a long time in Jackson. That's one of the videos that I did, along with another one about volcanoes that are in the South, across the South. A lot of them were dormant at the time, but I was convinced that they would become active as the magnetic pole reversal began to get more severe, right? So now Jackson has come up in the news, and this one is interesting because it is underneath a major city. Major, like the the place where it opens, the vortex, I guess. And speaking of vortexes, it's been going around the internet about a vortex that opened up over Switzerland. And I don't know if it's fake or not, but what I do know is that this year is in this Hebrew year is all about doors. So it's timely, I can say that. Hello, Connie and Janet. Welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, yes. All right, now let's get to some really interesting articles that y'all probably haven't heard anything about yet. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But there are a few. All right. There was an article that came out a few days ago about airplanes. Airplanes are being grounded by a surprising new issue, and the problems affected more than 20,000 flights in a single week. This article is probably about 5 days old, so it's recent, not today recent, but it's recent enough. But this is what it says it's due to. The effects of our overheating planet have been wreaking havoc on people's lives for years, and now they've taken a new victim: air travel. In a video interview with CBS News, Amanda Hoover, a staff writer for Wired magazine, explained how Earth's rising temperatures keeps airplanes grounded. In the summer of 2023, travelers worldwide experienced one of the worst travel seasons on record, with CBS reporting that data from FlightAware showed more than 20,000 flights affected in a week alone. As our planet heats up, extreme weather events have become more frequent and more intense. Storms, wildfires, and heat waves have worsened, and they have all affected air travel. There are a lot of ways climate change can affect air travel. You know, I've even heard about them having to adjust their GPS coordinates on their computers at times, or if they wouldn't hit the right runway because it's somehow in a different spot where, than the computer read it before. That a lot of people talk about it, but that's what I've heard. They also cite invisible turbulence. Okay, the airplanes, they're not the only ones being affected. Ooh, no. Let me see. Where was it? I know it's there. I know. There we are. Brutal storms from space absolutely devastate our trains and railroads. So it's not just planes, but trains and railroads. And I know I mentioned before that I was always worried about them because the ground is moving, so the rails will move also. But Electrically, it can cause problems too, because you worry about satellites, the grids, your phones, lithium batteries, things like that. But not a whole lot of people think about planes, trains, and railroads. It says solar flares are the biggest explosions in the solar system, and scientists know that they can wreak havoc on the electric grid, radio communication, and internet infrastructure. Now, a new study is analyzing the impact of powerful solar flares on the railways, as these storms can magnetically disrupt signaling and cause deadly failures, right? Understanding solar flares is vitally important, especially as the sun approaches its solar maximum and flares could become more common. And it seems like a lot of flares, magnetic storms, and explosions have been going up on the sun lately. It's been happening. And recently, I think this article's from, yeah, 2 days ago. So strong magnetic storm will cover the earth in the coming hours. That was 2 days ago, but there had been just another one a few days before that that was huge. And we saw all kinds of earthquakes that were pretty wild. And we've actually continued to see they died down a little bit. But there was an article that came out that it says earthquakes reported in South Carolina and Georgia. And I have talked to you guys before about the Gulf of Mexico and how there are three arms extending from the Gulf. One is the New Madrid. One goes up through from the Gulf through the Carolinas, and the other one is kind of like east sliver side of Texas, going through top part of Louisiana, Arkansas, going up that way north. So we're seeing the New Madrid and pop in. Arkansas actually did get a quake, I think yesterday. It was like a 3.8, but it was really close to the Mississippi River. So that would be more of the New Madrid fault. So, but this article says that South Carolina and Georgia, okay? Now, this goes back a little bit to the videos I'm telling you about. See, a lot of the stuff that I was doing when I first started was things that I was seeing coming as a problem in the future. And I did that with amnesia, and I did it with a pretty serious brain injury from the 10, 12-minute seizures I had been having. Okay. So I did the best that I could on the edge of life and death to try to explain what I was seeing. And so that's why I made these videos about the South and their volcanoes and the Gulf of Mexico and the magnetic pole reversal before anybody was even thinking that's what it could be, because everybody was talking about the Maunder minimum at the time, going, wow, that's what's causing all this. I was like, no, it's not. It's a magnetic pole reversal for sure. That sense, a lot of people realize, okay, that's right. But I'm not stupid, even though I get treated like that often, or them coming off with my imagination or whatever it is that people try to say. I've never been stupid, actually. I've never been diagnosed with any mental illness whatsoever. People don't know me. Actually, the people that actually know me, they don't know me as a liar, because I'm not that kind of person. I will actually tell you, if you ask me, dude, I've had to tell people, if you don't really want to know honestly from me what I'm thinking, then don't ask, because I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. Okay. More of who I really am has really come back in this last year, but I've never been a liar. I've never been one to want attention. So those Gulf of Mexico videos, I do have two of them in the description box. But I had also been talking about Mount St. Helens a few years ago, 4, 5, something like that. I was like, I had a vision that something was wrong with Mount St. Helens, because Jesus and I were standing right on top of it. But we were looking out from where it had erupted before in that path. We were looking through that path, but I could see like the whole area. I'd never been there. I'd never seen that. So imagine my surprise. I didn't even know where I was in the vision until it just happened to come across a video about Mount St. Helens and the eruption from back then. That went for 2 or 3 months. It was the exact view this guy come up. I mean, was amazing. But I knew then that something was wrong with Mount St. Helens too, and we're seeing uplift there, not just Jackson, and not just earthquakes in Carolinas and in Georgia. So any volcanoes, such as the one in North New Mexico, it was a dormant one too. All those are waking up. That's right. Heat. It's not just in the atmosphere. It's coming from below. And it's coming from below because of what's happening in space has penetrated deep within our planet. Okay? So, keep going. So, this article about South Carolina and Georgia, it says the earthquake was 9.1 miles southeast of Eatonton, Georgia. And it was the second earthquake hit the Midlands of South Carolina. It had a magnitude of 1.8, and the other one in Georgia had a 2.0. Now, I looked on USGS. I didn't see it. The article, I think, from today. Maybe it just went off the map or something. I don't remember seeing that. Again, it's more earthquakes that I see in articles that I haven't seen on USGS, and I do check it every single day. Now, when it comes to the magnetic pole reversal, it affects the entire Earth, okay? And we've been talking about a lot of things just now, but this one is about the water, okay? The picture on the front of this video, it's titled 75 Alaskan Rivers Turn Bright Orange, Tainting Water Supply, Endangering Humans and Wildlife. Scientists investigate. This article is supposed to be a day old, but I think it's a little bit older than that. Anyway, it says Alaska's once pristine Arctic rivers are undergoing a dramatic transformation, turning a rusty, bright orange color that scientists call alarming. Researchers are investigating the cause of the disturbing phenomenon and its impacts on wildlife and communities that rely on the rivers. The problem is particularly prominent in the Brooks Range, a 700-mile mountain range that stretches from northern Alaska into Canada's Yukon Territory. At least 75 rivers and streams in the area have become tinted bright orange in the past 5 to 10 years. The problem is believed to be a consequence of thawing permafrost due to climate change, as the article says. The discoloration is the result of oxidizing iron. Now, that right there is very interesting because the solar system that's been disrupting everything on Earth the last few years, one of those bodies is of iron oxide. And that's why we've been warning about watch for blood rivers. I didn't think they could turn orange, but oxidizing iron is, if I'm not mistaken, iron oxide, right? Maybe it's a little bit of a twist. I don't know. But you would want to see that. You would want to notice that, like pink film dust on your car or something at some point. You know, it pop up different places. So I've always been looking for that. You know, this is important, okay? Because the stuff like this, you know, you remember wormwood, that Bible prophecy about wormwood. It said that it would turn the waters bitter, right? The kind of stuff like these comets and asteroids and these things that come from space, they have radiation things, they have contaminants, they have metals that are not good, okay? They have particles that once they hit certain things like the water, our air, even our land, the animals around us, it can wreak havoc. It can cause long-term problems, right? Just want to keep welcoming everyone. I just thank all of you for being here. God bless all of you. I'm just always so thankful for all of you. Let me see. Just want to go through and say hello to a few more people. Hello, Daryl, Diana, Red Scout, Cowboys 8, Scrappy Dappy Doo. You see here, what else is here? Daughter of the Most High God, Seed Man, Care. You see Watchman, Clarissa. It's wonderful to see all of you. You see Umberto, welcome, welcome. And Kat J. Hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, it was not on purpose. I love you, okay? Don't forget, ever. All right. So. Yes, there's more. All right. So we were talking about bugs, problems popping up with bugs, how bugs would migrate. We got another one. We've got another article. Invasive, destructive pests moving into more areas of Ohio, wildlife officials warn. Mm-hmm. That's so sweet. Anyway, an invasive pest first spotted in the U.S. in 2014 is now spreading to more areas of Ohio. The Ohio Department of Agriculture confirmed several new spotted lanternfly infestations in August, including Columbus and Toledo. Franklin, Hamilton, Lucas, Mahoning, and Muskingum counties are now part of the spotted lanternfly regulated area, along with Columbiana, Cuyahoga, Erie, Jefferson, Lorain, Ottawa, according to the ODA. I think I pronounced those pretty well, huh? I don't think I've seen some of those names before. Anyway, local bus driver suffers serious injuries after allegedly being no. That must have gone into that was an accidental typo on this article. Sorry. ODA designated the spotted lanternfly as a destructive plant pest in 2021. So it's after our plants. They can give us problems with our food supply. And they like the Ohio area. The designation increases inspections and limits movement of certain items from county to county and state to state. It's native to Asia. It is a pest of grapes, hops, apples, and other plants, according to ODA. Spotted lanternflies are in their adult state in late summer and into fall. So, yeah, they're in their adult state, and they will lay small gray eggs in October. The insects can feed on the trunk and branches of woody plants. The insect was, you done? You done? All right. All righty. There you go. The insect was first detected in Pennsylvania, likely made it into the U.S. through imported goods. Likely. All right. Now, we're gonna go next to the Devil's Comet. Now, this article did come out today. It says, it's from the New York Post, Devil Comet hurtling towards Earth will erupt tomorrow. What in the what? A horned devil comet that's been hurtling towards Earth is set to blow. That's how this starts out. The comet known as 12P is a cryovolcano or cold comet which erupts when a large amount of gas and ice amasses and combusts. Astronomers say this interstellar snowball had its last icy outburst on December 14th, meaning its next one could be as soon as late December. This could reportedly be the ice ball's biggest explosion since the 14th, which made the comet 100 times brighter than normal. The cosmic ice cube, which orbits around the sun every 71 years, won't reach its closest point to Earth until spring 2024. Around that eclipse, April 8th, is in the spring. It's going to happen around that. That's the Devil's Comet coming to explode in the spring. Now, if that isn't enough, back here on Earth, an article comes out. Nuclear fusion enters new era after major breakthrough for near limitless clean energy. But they're doing nuclear fusion to accomplish this. It sounds wonderful, but this is also one of those double-edged swords kinds of things. You know, it might be clean energy, but it can also be straight up dangerous. Anyway, scientists have managed to repeatedly produce nuclear fusion ignition for the first time, marking a major milestone towards achieving near limitless clean energy at scale. A team at the Lawrence Livermore National Library in the US achieved fusion ignition last December, producing a net energy gain from a fusion reaction for the first time ever. It was hailed as a moment of history by physicists, and scientists have now repeated a further 3 times. So they used the National Ignition Facility to fire 192 laser beams at a frozen pellet of isotopes held within a diamond capsule suspended in a gold cylinder. He suspended. Okay. The result reaction replicated the same natural processes found within the sun and resulted in a record energy increase of 89%. Talk about having a second sun right here on Earth. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that they are messing with. Let's check out some of these comments. CV in the water supplies now. That's really important to know, Connie. Thank you. We'll have to check that out. Okay, all right. I'm glad you're here too, Elected the End Times channel. Oh, I'm sorry about that connection. I'm really sorry. Maybe you can replay it. Sometimes it's better later. On the replay. All right, last article. It's this is amazing, all right. And it even has a picture of, I don't know how many of you have ever seen Back to the Future. Marty, the doc, his mom and his dad, the dance, they have to kiss and fall in love. Okay, well, if you do or don't know, one of the scenes is Marty has traveled back in time, first movie, and he knocks on Doc's door, but Doc doesn't know who he is yet. He hasn't even been born yet, so how could he know who Marty is? But Marty knows where he lives and who he is. So he knocks on the door, and the Doc has this thing on his head, and it's meant to read minds. It's a machine that's there to read minds, which in the 50s was quite remarkable, to be honest with you. Well, another recent article, at least from the last few days, first AI images extracted from human brain revealed. Okay, they didn't just go through brain waves and detect things and somehow have a workable computer program. No, they went AI on your brain. You hear me? It's not just any computer program or machine. It's first AI images extracted from human brain revealed. You want to hear it? A group of researchers in Japan, aren't they? Japan is always so leading on technology. It's amazing. So, yet, a group of researchers in Japan have found yet another interesting way to use AI technology. In a recent research project led by a team from the National Institutes for Quantum Science and Technology and Osaka University, they were able to translate human brain activity to depict mental images of objects, animals, and landscapes. They released pictures from the research, and they are pretty astounding. One of the images that the AI technology was able to decode from the brain activity was a vivid depiction of a leopard with detailed features like spots, ears, and more. Another image depicted an airplane. While we have previously had technology that is able to recreate images from brain activity, this is one of the very few studies that were able to make these mental images visible. Of these previous studies, images that could be decoded were fairly limited into several categories like human faces, letters, and numbers. This new AI brain decoding technology seems to be able to decode a much broader spectrum of images from the human mind. As the researchers in the study point out, visualizing mental imagery for arbitrary natural images stands as a significant milestone. Now, if you don't understand the dangers of this, oh, wow. Thank you, Sherry's Kitchen. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. The thing with this AI thing, especially when you think about Bible prophecy, they talk about a mark on the forehead or on the right hand. Now, A lot of what we discern from God through the Holy Spirit is processed through our brain. To mark that, it's handcuffing the Holy Spirit. Same with the right hand, because the left hand is considered the unrighteous hand, the right hand the righteous hand. So if you mark your right hand with something permanent and unholy, you have two unrighteous hands. And that's the reasoning for those two specific. Now, there may be also medical things now, but the effect, all right, when you think about, okay, yeah, they'll tell you the benefits of, oh, we can find out what's in a person who's in a coma, what they're thinking or seeing, or we can research life and death, or we can, mute people, whatever we can do that's use, but is it really what they get? No, they don't usually use it for good. They use it to control you. Already they're working on your bank accounts, right? They've got AI. Okay, they have MK Ultra mind programming for decades that they got you with through TV frequencies, all kinds of things. MK Ultra slaves were not the only ones programmed, but they start talking about putting implants, in your brain to treat PTSD. And I've always warned, anything like that can transmit and receive. You see what I'm saying? They can not just show you commercials or continuous propaganda, but they're wanting to get to the point where they see your memories, where they can read your thoughts in real time. And also, if you haven't thought about the possibility of them actually taking control, putting you in the back, in the subconscious, and them taking over the conscious. And a hive mind can come into play through things like that, because it's all through a central AI system. So your uniqueness and everything would disappear. You would just be controlled, right? It's a lot more powerful than the old-fashioned hypnosis. I guarantee you that. But that's the danger that you're looking at when you look at technology like that, especially in the times that we're in. They already tried to get in the last few years, had everybody stuck at home. I don't have to say, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's just something wasn't right about that whole scenario. You know what I'm saying? George Carlin made a lot of sense, but he was also very blasphemous. There would just be times where he would say things and my hair would stand up on end. I'm like, oh no. I felt bad for him for later, you know. Yes, I believe that too, Clarissa, that AI is connected to the beast system, because like with clones, robots, things like that, it's a vessel. And vessels can be inhabited. We are vessels. We're electrical too. We run off of electromagnetics and frequency like a robot, except we have a soul, right? The thing is that we have to be filled with either the Holy Ghost of God or something else. A robot can't make that choice. You see what I mean? So if you hook something like that up, I mean, they've had to shut down AI many, many times because it started doing things like connecting to other AI quantum computers in parallel universes, other Earths and other parallel universes where you might or might not exist. That's where we're going to. So these are the end time things, right? These are the end time things. It's happening to the earth. And there's a lot of what seems to be grappling for control of what is left of humanity. Distractions, things like that. But I want you to have your eyes open. There was a reason that I made the videos that I did. It was hard for me to try to explain what I was trying to say at the time. But I think I did all right. I think I did okay. All right. And the things that I've been seeing, they've just been coming true. They're coming true. And to finally hear about Mount St. Helens is getting pretty good rise. Jackson volcano, that's another one. I'm telling you. I wasn't just making random videos. You'll see that. I was actually naming specific volcanoes, specific areas, because I saw problems coming for those in particular. So, anyway, the specter of Mecklenburg. It it's okay if you're left-handed. It's a spiritual thing, it's that's why the beast would use that is in a spiritual sense. I mean, we've got ambidextrous people too, and that's fine. That is fine if you're right-handed, left-handed. We just don't want any marks on a right hand or right here. Just nothing in this area. Okay, just no marks. Stay human, that kind of thing. Saturn 3 had a robot they put on brain in him. Ooh. Thank you, Scrappy. Humberto, I just looked it up. From insects to amphibians, from birds to mammals, there are many animals that eat ticks. Some of the biggest tick eaters are opossums, lizards, and guinea fowl. We got lots of those around here. Guinea, they eat snakes too, but they are I hate those birds. I hate them. I know hate's a strong bird, but you have never had to listen to a tribe of them squawking their heads off at 5 o'clock in the morning after a hard night with a newborn baby. Oh, yeah. Forget the waste, the amounts of waste that cover the land from these things. Oh, I hate guineas. They're good for snakes, though. Ooh, but I hate those birds. They will wish they can die and cannot. Yes, that's right. This generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. And I also wanted to say thank you to, there were some people that may be here or come on later that were on Daily Excellence while I was moderating last night. My oldest son, Micah, was about to have a grand mal seizure. He's epileptic too, but it's really manifested this last year. He started having grand mal seizures. And so I asked people to pray, and he did not go into that seizure. And that's like the third, fourth time I mean, myself included, I've had to say, look, I'm about to go into a seizure, and y'all start praying, and it's like I can feel it just lift off of me. The headache just dissolves. It's gone. I can see again. The halo disappears. I'm not sick to my stomach. And y'all are amazing. I just want to testify to that your prayers are important. God is listening to you in this time. This is not just any time. He was listening before, but I'm telling you, this is a very special time. And people, they try to kick me down. I know they're trying to kick you down too, for whatever reason they can find. All right. I know this. And it's even coming from the church. But let me remind y'all, when it said a great shaking would start with the church first, that God would start with his church, why? Because we've got some pretty arrogant people that in the church that don't know how to humble themselves and speak civilly to other people without dismissing and disparaging and ripping them apart. That goes on so much. So, you know what? Stay patient. People are kicking you in the teeth, so to speak. Just wait, because God's going to deal with them first. And then he's going to go on to the sinners. The unsaved is what I mean, because we're all sinners. You know what I mean? Debbie says, when I lived in one of my last town, I had possums coming up and looking in the glass doors, begging. Yes, RoboCop, augmented. A lot of the movies that came out in the 80s and 90s were because the people of that time saw these things coming. They knew that these things were coming. They knew as soon as TVs came out that the beginning of the Bible end time prophecy with the slivers of light were coming in, because they knew there had to be a way where how everybody could see something happening all over the world at once. And when TVs came out, they knew. So there were things they could see. Some things look prophetic that have been made in video movies stuff like that, cartoons, but it was stuff that was being passed down to us the whole time. Now, some of it was coming off of the secret government work, like the Fallen had come back and given us all this technology that caused everything to accelerate. And so a lot of those movies were based off of some factual things. It's true. It was like almost soft disclosure, but they did it in a way to make the Fallen look like aliens, but nice aliens, you know. But this is the kind of deception we're going into. All right. They want you to trust the science, not God. They want you to trust the government, but forget Jesus. Take the Bibles out to schools. Now, I hope I get a chance to come back before the first year, but I can't guarantee it because I still have family and friends that I'm spending time with. You know, we're still celebrating the birth of Jesus. Some people think if they're celebrating a pagan holiday, that's their problem. But I know that every day is a day that the Lord has made, and nobody's going to tell me there's a single day I can't worship God and thank Him for Jesus. There's no Santa Claus in my house. Okay. In my house, as far as my house, we serve the Lord. All right. And we do it for a long time. Jesus, He was our gift, but gifts were brought to Him. Hanukkah, they have gifts. It's about family. And you know what? Without Jesus, the winter sure gets cold. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out this year with people that are close to me. And I hope you do too, that no matter what river is got iron oxide in it, no matter what explosion is happening on the sun, that you use that as a reminder to smell the roses, to appreciate what you still have. All right. And cherish it. I love you. God bless you. I've got to go, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so, so much. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. I love your comments. And if I don't see you before the new year, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Don't forget, the year of the doors, 5784. I can't wait to see what doors might be open this year. Love y'all. Bye.